I feel like every single year, especially with football, some type of wild hit and run, DUI type of story. But I might have to put this one right up there with Henry Ruggs. This one's insane if all the allegations are true. So Lacy, the wide receiver from LSU, he's a projected top 50 pick right now for the NFL. One of the best wide receivers, hands down, in college football. He got in a hit and run type of situation in Louisiana. And to make matters worse, the person who passed away was a former Marine. It says Louisiana State Police have issued an arrest warrant for former LSU receiver who was accused of causing a fatal crash that killed a 78-year-old man on December 17th. This happened almost a month ago, and then fleeing the scene without rendering aid or calling authorities. Louisiana State Police said Lacy will be charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. Now, here's the thing. The situation took place December 17th. It happened in Louisiana. And the guy's a former Marine. I don't know if he gets out of this. For sure is doing jail time if found guilty. I think Henry Ruggs is set to be released 2027, but he might get longer because this is crazy, right? If everything is true. Now, in Louisiana, the penalty for negligent homicide is up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Sentence can vary depending on the circumstances of the case. I thought it would be higher, I'm not gonna lie. If the victim was under 10 years old, the offender must serve a minimum of 2 years in prison without parole, probation, or suspension of the sentence. The severity of the sentence can vary depending on the circumstances of the case. A hit and run could be a misdemeanor or felony depending on the circumstances. A misdemeanor hit and run typically involves minor injuries or no serious injury. Felony hit and run involves serious injury, significant property damage, or death. Penalty for a felony hit and run can include up to 10 years of prison and a $5,000 fine. If I'm not mistaken, this was the scene of the crash right here. They said he was driving a Dodge Charger. This is a good video breakdown the situation. This is crazy.
Superstar LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy is wanted for negligent homicide because apparently he caused a car accident that killed a United States Marine, and then he fled the scene. And according to the Louisiana State Police Department, Lacy was driving a 2023 Dodge Challenger south on the Louisiana highway and recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed by crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designated no passing zone. And as Lacy was illegally passing the other vehicles, the driver of a northbound lane pickup truck abruptly braked and swerved to the right to avoid a head-on collision with the approaching Dodge. Traveling behind the pickup truck was a Kia Cadenza, whose driver swerved left to avoid the oncoming Dodge Charger. As the Kia Cadenza took evasive action to avoid the impact with the Dodge, it crossed the center line and collided head-on with a southbound Kia Sorento. Following the crash, Lacy drove around the crash scene and fled south on the LA Highway 20 without stopping to render aid, call emergency services, or report his involvement in the crash. So yeah, as good of a wide receiver as Kyren Lacy is, this is probably going to be the end of his career.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. He's cooked. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. And the thing is, the fact that it happened a month ago, he fled the scene. He might even get more time for that if found guilty, of course. The fact it was a Marine, I don't know if he ever getting out. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He was 78, so definitely obviously retired and everything. He cooked. Like, there's no getting out of this one. He's supposed to be a top 50 pick. This is almost like routine. You always hear some crazy ass story like this, right? Lacy's agent, this is what Lacy's agent said. He said, we're aware of the allegations that have been made regarding Kyren Lacy, and we want to take this opportunity to address them. First and foremost, Kyren is fully cooperating with authorities. We strongly believe that the facts will ultimately demonstrate the truth, but we respect the need for full and thorough investigation. We recognize the concern and questions that may arise from these recent allegations. Anyone impacted directly or indirectly, we want to assure that this matter is being taken very seriously, committed to resolving it responsibly. Out of respect for the investigation, everyone involved will not be making further comments on at this time. It's kind of reminded me that Henry Ruggs, like, you guys remember this Henry Ruggs situation? This was crazy.
Henry Ruggs' story is so unfortunate because in his rookie season, he played in 13 games, had 452 yards receiving. In his sophomore year, he exceeded that in 7 games. It looked like this young man was going to be a huge cornerstone for the Las Vegas Raiders moving forward. Bear in mind, this is a guy that already signed a huge and lucrative contract. If you are able to manage your assets properly, you could leverage a first-round salary in the NFL draft into generational wealth, especially if you get drafted into Nevada, where you don't have to pay as much tax as a team in Los Angeles would. But unfortunately, during the 2021 season, tragedy would strike. Henry Ruggs would go to Topgolf, get drunk out of his mind, over 2 times the legal blood alcohol concentration.
Bro, look at this. Drove 156 miles. Oh my God. What? At twice the legal alcohol limit. That's crazy. How did he only got, well, I forgot how he got arrested. So So he gets out 2027. They might change some of these laws because
And
that's
get
crazy.
into a car that is notorious for its poor handling and high speed, drives significantly over the speed limit at about 156 miles per hour, and crash into a poor woman's car so hard that the poor woman lost her life and got incinerated as her final moments waned on. Since then, we actually got footage of the incident. If you guys haven't seen it, this is what it looked like.
I know somebody probably in there, but this here the runs right here. Huh? This here the runs right here, bro. It's to the right of this. Relax, calm down.
Yeah, it's some really gripping stuff. It's some truly horrific stuff. I can't imagine a more tragic situation all around. A woman that was loved by her family is gone, just like that. Just from her minding her own business, out of nowhere, it's like a bullet from the sky falls on her, and bam, her and her dog are gone. Just because Henry Ruggs got intoxicated and got behind the wheel. So as time would go on, there would be a bit of a political battle in regards to how this case should be tried. Originally, Henry Ruggs' camp wanted blood alcohol concentration thrown out, but the judge ruled that blood alcohol concentration is obviously very, very important to the story, and eventually we found out that Henry Ruggs took a plea deal in order to plead guilty. So with all of that finally being done, Henry Ruggs took the stand and gave his final statement to Tina Tintor's family, saying this.
To the parents and family of Miss Tintor, I sincerely apologize for the pain and suffering.
Wait, so he got 3 to 10 years in prison? Well, we're going to see. Well, this case should be interesting then. If everything comes out true, Lacy's case should be interesting. That's crazy.
Actions the morning of November 2nd, 2021 have caused you, your family, and those who knew and loved Miss Tina at match. I also let my family, teammates, and those who believed in me down with my actions. It hurt so many. Over the past 21 months, I've searched within to find the answers to explain my selfish behavior on that day. I have no excuse and pray that accepting responsibility in my guilty plea can allow me to begin the healing process and allow everyone involved to heal also. My actions are not a true reflection of me. I am committed to creating greater awareness and educating others about the dangers that driving at excessive speed and driving impaired can cause. With the support of my family, David, Richard, and friends, I pledge to be the father and man God created me to be.
According to Ari Meirov, a judge has sentenced former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs to 3 to 10 years in prison for a fatal DUI crash that led to the death of a woman and her dog in 2021. So Henry Ruggs will serve at least 3 years in prison and then will be up for parole. He'll have to serve a full 3 years at least, meaning he won't get credit for time previously served during house arrest. This is because prosecutors have said that his blood alcohol level was 0.1, which is twice the legal limit. Now, what do I think about this? Guys, I usually like prefacing this by saying I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge. It's not really my position to determine whether or not someone got punished enough for a specific situation. All I can say is I feel tremendous empathy for both the victim's family who lost someone that they loved and her dog, in addition to Henry Ruggs, because his horrific and tragic and stupid mistake without a doubt altered what could have been an incredible life for himself. And obviously there's no comparison between who has a worse circumstance. Tina Tintor's family lost someone that they love, and there's no worse feeling in the entire world than losing someone, especially if that someone happens to be a young child. That's got to be the worst pain that you could ever feel, and I hope none of us ever have to feel something like that. But at the same time, I have to admit, I mean, the reason I'm just gonna say it this time in comparison to other times is at the same time, Tory Lanez got sentenced to 10 years in jail for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the leg. And when you compare that to Henry Ruggs getting hammered at Topgolf, getting into a Corvette, driving significantly over the speed limit at over twice the legal blood alcohol concentration, slamming into another woman's car, ending that woman and her dog's life. The fact that Henry Ruggs is getting 3 to 10 years in comparison to Tory Lanez getting 10 is just wild. I guess you could view this as a gigantic victory for Henry Ruggs' camp, because I will admit football is on the table for him in the future. There is a chance he could come back in 3 years. And as we've seen in years past, whether it's in the case of Dante Stallworth, or even in the case of Michael Vick, or even in the case of Greg Hardy or Alden Smith, if a player is talented enough, a football team would give that player a chance based upon what we've seen historically. So if Henry Ruggs only gets 3 years, by the time he comes back, he'll be 27 years old. If he stays in shape, then there is a chance he could return to the NFL, assuming he only serves 3 years. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, this has been a horrific situation throughout, and so I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, with everything that we've mentioned, from what Henry Ruggs did, to his punishment, to the fact that he could return to the NFL someday, do you think justice was served?
The thing about this case, though, I mean, obviously I believe that, you know, the right thing should be done. They're definitely gonna push for it. I don't think there's gonna be no Henry Ruggs situation. Like, he gonna get, if everything comes out to be true, he gonna get, they're gonna make sure he get time. They gonna make sure. You know what I'm saying? That's a Marine. Rest in peace to that young lady as well. I don't think that case is messed up as well. You know, like, even Henry Ruggs could probably go back to playing football. It's crazy. This guy, he didn't even get to prove himself on that scale. Like, he didn't even get to the NFL. I just think his career is probably just done. But that is crazy. I did not know that. I didn't know. So that means he gets out when he's 27. The way these NFL teams move, I wouldn't be surprised he got another shot. But that's crazy to think about. But all in all, you know, the case is the case is a wild one. These cases are so common in football at this point. It's like you hear one or two every single year. It's so messed up. But I don't know. That's crazy, man. I thought that was crazy. Dude just threw his life away if everything comes out to be true. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. I thought that was insane. And as always, it's your boy.